Keeping our furry four-legged family member Daisy here safe while we are traveling in our RV is extremely important to us.
Yeah, we've been driving little Miss Daisy here for 3+ years, and we have some great tips for you guys on how to keep them safe.
We do, and we also have a few tips on pet etiquette, and we're also going to share a very scary story of Daisy's great escape that happened a couple of years ago. All right, before we go inside and talk about safety tips for your pet, I just want to mention briefly about this dog bed because a lot of you are going to want to know.
We get asked about this daily.
All the time. This is a dog bed that we found on Amazon. We will put the link in the description below, but it straps onto the console here.
It also has a tether that can strap to a harness on the dog, and then that in turn can be strapped down to the floor of the truck.
Yes.
So it's very good.
Yeah, and Amazon runs out of these quite frequently, but they do also replenish them pretty frequently too. So if they are out of stock, keep checking back. Again, link below. Let's go inside.
Yeah.
Our furry little family members all have such unique personalities, and Daisy is no different. She's super quirky and really funny. You won't really know that when you meet her for the first time because she's also very shy. But throughout this video, we want to share with you some of her most frequently performed quirks, I guess you could say.
If we can capture them. She's very difficult. She does a lot of cool little things, but as soon as you bring the camera out, she just gives you the blank stare.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Daisy.
She's looking side. She was giving me side eye. You looking pretty at the camera.
Hey, Daisy. Daisy, look at me. One of our biggest concerns before we hit the road full time was making sure that Daisy's environment was comfortable and livable when we leave the RV, because yes, we do leave her alone in the RV because this is our home and can't take our pets everywhere with us. So we do have to leave her in the RV sometimes.
Unlike a home, RV power can be unreliable.
Yeah, you're in an RV park with lots of other RVers or maybe a campground, and you know, maybe it's summertime and people are kicking on their ACs and maybe the park has an outage temporarily. The thing is, with an RV, when the power goes off and comes back on, our thermostat's all reset to just off. So that was a concern of ours, to make sure that we know when that kind of stuff happens and can take care of it. It's time for the bath. You ready for your bath? Where are you going? Ready for bath?
Before we get into the safety stuff, we just want to briefly cover a little bit of pet etiquette. And these come directly from you guys and from our own personal experience, the things that we're going to share and talk about right now.
Yeah, we'll be brief because these are pretty much common sense and most people know about them.
And they're pretty much rules in every campground that you go to.
The trouble is a lot of people don't follow the rules, and so we'd like to talk a little bit about that and how, while you might think that you not following the rules is fine because your dog is super friendly and would never hurt a fly, well, you just never know. And the thing is, you might have a 20, 30, 80-pound dog, and that dog may decide it wants to just play with our 3-pound dog, and that playing could kill our 3-pound dog.
Right, yeah.
So,
not only that, but if you are letting your dogs roam around aimlessly without you there and without being on a leash, they could poop on somebody's site. They could destroy other people's property. There's a lot of things. They could attack a child. I mean, you just don't know. So keeping your dogs on a leash is very important.
Yeah. And the other thing too is you never know how your dog is going to react to some other dog. I mean, new dog, new scent could trigger some instinct deep in their little animal brains because they are animals after all.
Even this one has like wolf instincts deep down.
Hey. Hi, buddy. Oh, Daisy, stop. Daisy May. You so scary, I know. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Deer. Are you scared of a kitten? Are you scared of a good kitten? It's okay, kitty kitty. Look at her, chicken.
But just be respectful of others and keep your pets on a leash even when you're sitting around the campground. And, you know, and if you want to have them off leash, set up a fence. Now that brings up a second little tip, and that's barking.
What is it? What? What am I supposed to do? Make you a margarita?
Some people who have barky dogs are just used to their dog barking and they just kind of tune it out. It's like they don't even hear it.
How many times have you been in the campground where somebody nearby is sitting outside with their dogs and their dogs are barking nonstop and they're just reading and doing like it doesn't faze the owners of the dogs because, like you said, I think they're used to it. But I think that what's missing there is like thinking about all the other people around you. So
it all comes down to courtesy and respect for others' time.
Now we understand that sometimes your dog can bark when you leave them behind and you don't know it. You know, that's not your fault, but if somebody tells you, hey, when you leave your dog behind, your dog barks nonstop, then
even in a
figure something out.
Hello? Anybody home? All right. That dog.
We were afraid in the beginning that we had one of those dogs.
We learned early on that we can't leave our windows open. So that's a tip. If you've got a yappy dog, close your blinds, turn the AC on, turn on
a fan if it's not, if you don't need AC, but some kind of motor running. We leave either the TV or radio station on as well, so she can't hear anything going on outside. That seems to help her. I mean, she's got separation anxiety like crazy, and she hates every second of being away from us, but there was only that one time when we went out on a lake.
Three Rivers?
Yeah, this was one of our very first campgrounds, maybe the fifth campground we had ever stayed at. And we took a kayak out onto the middle of a lake.
And she could hear us.
And she heard us talking, and we could hear her barking.
On the lake.
She's barking. That's her. We gotta go get her. Our neighbors are trying to like eat outside.
And immediately was like, we gotta get back right now. Oh my gosh, the poor people around us, I feel so bad. Because that's how I am. I'm always worried about interrupting somebody else's peace and quiet, or you know, I don't want anything of ours to negatively impact people around us.
Sure, your dog may bark once or twice and you get it quiet, and that's fine. No big deal. But if it's just barking constantly, like we had just recently, please.
Look who we had to go get. Look who we had to go get, because she wouldn't stop barking.
So bottom line is, if you know your dog is a barking dog and you're home with that dog, please try to do something to stop your dogs from barking.
If you're not sure what your dog does, I mean, we have a security camera so we can always check in, but you know, put your phone on the counter and turn the camera on record and go walk away for a while. Come back and play it back and see if your dog was barking the whole time you were gone.
Another thing about being courteous to your fellow campers is please pick up after your pet.
Yeah, most places, again, have that as a rule. We see it broken a lot. We haven't seen it broken live because we would say something to those people, but you come across the evidence.
What gets me are the ones that leave their dog poo pile. It's only a few feet from the dog waste station. There's bags and a trash can right there, and the pile of poop is right there. Okay, seriously. Right there is the dog waste station. Right there, right. You see it? Right there's poo. Like, I don't understand that one. That drives me crazy. How do you feel about that?
Kind of far from that. I think I'll just leave it here.
Yeah. We're gonna gag doing this right now. We just got to our site. And we didn't know when Chad was back in the RV in, but somebody left a nice pile of poop under here, because I covered it up because...
Look, it's a giant. It's not like,
listen,
oh, I didn't know.
We smushed it, so that's going to make it much more difficult. Oh, it... and it stinks. And you guys, that's rude. That makes me mad. Look at it.
Yeah, we got Daisy's tiny little poo in there. Somebody left a giant log. Come on.
If you have a pet, it is your responsibility to pick up their poop. Daisy's easy. They're like Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah.
Whatever it is I think I see becomes a Tootsie Roll to me.
The not always easy, because sometimes there are like 100.
Sometimes they're like
Tootsie
chocolate
Rolls.
chips.
It's like picking up chocolate chips with a bag of hand.
When they're
And
on
you're trying to-
gravel, it's
you're trying to
quite
get
challenging.
These tiny little pieces of poo out of the rocks. Like, come on, Daisy.
Sometimes they're connected by one of my hairs that she ingested.
How do we always come back to poop?
Poop happens.
Poop happens.
Yeah, I'm looking for toilet training books.
Everybody Poops is still the standard, of course. We've also got the less popular Nobody Poops But You.
If you guys have experiences with any other issues with four-legged animals and their owners, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, those will be fun to read.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the security aspect, because we got to keep them safe.
Our dog makes funny noises whenever I get out of beer, because she knows we're going to do a WALK.
I mean, she cannot contain herself. What do you say? What do you have to say?
Hey,
Daisy.
sit.
Oh.
Don't go for a walk. So the safety and security thing really comes down to their environment, making sure it's livable, right? We've heard horror stories about people who've gone camping and they go out for the day and they come back in the summer and their AC failed or power failed or something while they're gone, and they came back
I can't.
deceased pets. I can't even imagine.
I can't imagine.
So just knowing that, we wanted to make sure that we could keep tabs on everything that goes on in here. And why have just one way when you can have three? And that's how we do it.
And the thing is, these things heat up quickly like a car.
Oh, absolutely. Huge greenhouse effect in here. Even with the AC on, you shut this AC off for just a little while and it gets hot. Trust us, we shut the AC off many times, like right now when we're filming, for the noise. It's already getting
Starting
warm.
to sweat. We use three things to really help monitor the environment for Daisy. The main one is Marcel.
We've had Marcel since day one. I think that might have been one of the things that we purchased before we ever got our RV. And it was really about the only thing on the market at the time. This was 3.5 years ago. And each one of these things we're going to share with you has their quirks and pluses and minuses, so we're going to go over those. Marcel is cellular based. It's a little device that sits in here and plugs into the wall. And it monitors power, temperature, and humidity, and it will alert if any of those things go out of range.
And you get to set the range yourself.
Yeah, you set the range yourself. This one is subscription based because it does use the cellular network. So that's one of the catches, is it uses cellular, so you do have to be in range of cellular. It doesn't have to be a strong signal, and you can get them now on AT&T or Verizon. Ours, I believe, uses AT&T. But we've never had an issue with it connecting because we always stay within cell service.
And it's an annual subscription too.
It's $99 a year. Pay for the device, you pay for the subscription, and it will send texts and emails, and you'll get them immediately. Even if we just switch from internal to external power or back and forth, it'll have a quick blip, we'll get an alert. And that's our first indication that something went wrong. Then, that obviously starts before the temperature starts to go up.
And it's happened to us several times where we've been out and about exploring and we get that text message and we're like, crap, and it'll be summer, we got to get back. And we were going to head into Glacier right now, but we got a little notification on our phone that the power went out. So we got to go check that out.
We got a ring notice and a Marcel notice that the power's out.
Yeah, luckily it's not super hot out or anything, so she'll be fine. But we're only like 10 minutes away. We have to change plans a little bit.
People are going to ask, well, can't you, with the one control system, turn your ACs on and off remotely? We cannot. We have an older one control system that doesn't connect to the internet.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, and our ACs do not connect into that system. They're separate. However, I think some of the newer ones that might be possible. I'm not sure. We'd love to hear down below if you have a newer system and you can control your AC systems from the internet.
That would be so cool.
Yeah. Now, we're going to be doing a video later. I have some new thermostats that are internet connected and they're RV compatible. I can't wait to actually have that.
Yeah.
Battery. Battery. Battery.
Better eat. You better eat.
Get him.
You gonna make monkey noises?
Make monkey noises.
Make monkey noises. Better eat.
Something else that we've started using somewhat recently is Govi. And this is something that we've heard about from our friends Phil and Stacy of Uni in the RV. And this one's the app-based program.
And we haven't been using it as long, but we have used it long enough to test it. I would put it outside in the winter and see if it alerts me, and it does. Since it pops up on the app, it's not quite as in your face as the, getting a text and an email and her text goes off and my text goes off. But it does alert you, and you can keep an eye on it, and you can also see what the, current temperature and stuff is. Does require you have Wi-Fi though, so you have to have your own internet for this to work. So that's, kind of the difference between the two. Govi requires that you have internet.
Marcel requires you have cellular.
Right. But, as long as it has its cell signal in range.
Did Marcel use Wi-Fi?
No.
Okay.
The other advantage of the Govi is there is no annual fee or anything like that. Just simply requires that you have Wi-Fi and you buy the device, and that's it. So pluses and minuses to both of those, and we use both because Daisy's really important to us.
That's right.
Do you hate me, Daisy? You mad at me? Hey, Daisy. Don't be mad. Look at her, oh my gosh.
The third thing that we use, that's not really a monitoring system for her, but our Ring alarm system does monitor power. So when power goes out, we get an alert from our Marcel and from Ring. Our Marcel told us, actually no, our Ring alarm system said power went out, the power was restored. We didn't get an alert from Marcel. Which is weird. But that prompted us to check it, and the temperature is slowly rising, which tells me maybe something's up with the power or the ACs.
Yeah, and it's already 83 degrees inside, and it's just climbing, and Daisy's at home. We can't do that.
Yeah. Gonna head back over the pass. Quick little jaunt over there and back.
Quick little jaunt. It's like an hour each way.
And we also have from Ring a security camera that's inside. We have a couple of them, but this we have one that's inside. Oh, look, a stink bug.
Oh, awesome.
They're everywhere, I swear. But we have a security camera that points down into the main living area, so when we're not here, we can keep an eye on Daisy and see how she's doing.
Yeah, separation anxiety.
Yeah, the poor thing will not sleep.
So she doesn't always stress the whole time, but definitely right after we leave, she's back and forth.
But Daisy's the kind of dog that she is not happy unless we are both with her. So you want down? What? We're telling all your secrets? You embarrassed? Good girl. Who's here?
Gonna get him.
Who's it?
Who's it?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Tuco. It's Cuckoo.
Good dog.
Thank you for telling us.
Thanks for being such a good guard dog.
Who is it? Oh. Oh, now you want something to eat?
Another thing with the Ring security system is they do have these flood and freeze sensors that we've actually got all over the place to monitor for water leaks. We have them in the basement and below every sink. They're also freeze sensors, so they'll tell you if it goes below freezing, but they don't have a too hot sensor or alert. I wish they would. Yeah, I wish they would modify that. It seems like it would be an easy firmware update, but we haven't found anything yet. If you found anything that plugs into the Ring alarm system that will let you set alerts for high temperature,
that'd be cool.
That'd be really awesome. Daisy patiently awaits Mommy's hair towel so she can smell like Mommy.
Every time I take a shower and wash my hair. Okay, you ready? Okay, go get it. Every time.
Wait. Well, just wait. Here you go.
A couple of other tips that we do that we think might just be a good idea for everybody, but we put an emergency phone number on the door. We have a little placard thing.
Yeah, it was just an Amazon thing where you just say, here's what I want on the little plaque, and it sticks right on the front door, and ours just says, in case of emergency, please call this number. Some of our videos have shown this next one, which is we also have our phone number now on her collar. both of these came about after the Great Escape.
Yeah, so Daisy is chipped, but for the first, the first 3 years, I guess, of her life, we didn't go anywhere. This was when we were still in sticks and bricks. I was going through really harsh treatment for a Lyme disease, and we never left the house. When we got her and she was a puppy, she just stayed with me while I was in bed or on the couch.
That's probably why she's so needy.
Yeah, for a year. Then we hit the road. We didn't have a proper dog collar for her because
she's so tiny. You know, the tiny little dog collars are a third of her height.
Yeah.
People, when they see her in person after seeing her on video, say, "Wow, she's a lot smaller than I thought she was."
Yeah, it's true.
She's tiny.
It's true, but at the time of the Great Escape, she didn't have a dog collar with our contact information on us. We were still pretty early on in our RV traveling.
She had a collar, just didn't have any identifying
shame on us.
stuff.
That was our fault. Mm-hmm. But we went out to dinner one night, actually with Phil and Stacy, and had some margaritas. When we got home, I went to open the door, and the door wasn't attached, wasn't latched.
Yeah.
So the door was ajar, and I opened up the door, and I felt sick, immediately sick. And she wasn't in the RV, and you can imagine, I lost it. At this point, it's dark outside.
We're in a Corps of Engineers site, which is kind of woods and kind of in the middle of nowhere.
All I could think about was this little 3.5 pound ball of fur wandering the wilderness by herself, and I thought I didn't think that we would see her again. And we went outside. We weren't out there for very long. Luckily, this didn't take very long.
Yeah.
But we hear from the darkness, you guys have a Maltese?
Yeah.
And when she's part Maltese.
Yeah. Okay. She looks more Maltese than she does Yorkie, but she's a Morkie, which is a mixture.
This couple found her roaming around. What I believe happened, what I'm certain of, is she wasn't trying to escape to get out. She was trying to get to us.
Yeah.
And then she got out and she couldn't get back in. And I can't... Oh...
As soon as that happened, we're like, we've got to get our phone number on the door where people can call us, put it on her collar.
Or if there's a fire.
Or a fire or
if there's
something,
a fire and somebody calls us, we can give them the RV lock code and they can get in and they can get her out.
Another good reason for RV locks.
This is a hard lesson for us to have to learn.
Yeah.
We learned it the hard way.
We got lucky.
It was totally our fault. We should have had a tag with our information on it from the beginning. We just didn't need it at the time. We were in the house, and it's just, that's a horrible story. I mean, it's makes
scary.
Me sick.
You gonna get him, Daisy? Who's there? Who's making noises out there?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
You tell us all about it. We hope you enjoyed this video and you found it useful if you're going to camp with pets.
And if we missed something that you guys were hoping that we would cover regarding pet safety, just mention it in the comments below. Also, if you have any other tips or tricks regarding pet safety, or maybe something that you do to help keep dogs calm while you're gone, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, we'd love to hear them.
Yeah, and if you have questions about other topics, you can check out our website because we have an awesome FAQ section that's constantly being updated, and your question is probably answered there.
It just keeps getting longer and longer. It's just a huge FAQ. We keep adding to it almost daily. So.
Well, whenever we get a question asked more than a couple of times, it goes into the FAQ section. So go to our website, go to the little search box, type it in, and hopefully it comes up. Because otherwise you might be waiting a while to get a response from an email from us. Just because
behind.
We have a backlog.
Tons of emails,
yeah, so we try to get to everybody, but it just takes a while. So check there first. And Daisy says, thanks for watching.
Bye-bye, everybody. She's like, what are you doing to me?
You guys are dumb. You guys are dumb. We love you.
No. We'll see ya.
Oh, you got stinky breath. Whew.
I brushed my teeth.
She may have stinky breath, but we love her.
Yeah, and most of the time these etiquettes are actually rules. Is etiquettes work? Can you say etiquettes? Is it plural?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, we've managed to keep an eye on her environment. We're going to share how
Okay, we're doing awesome. One more time. Yeah.
Daisy's got to be here for the wrap up.
Yeah, duh. She's the star of the show always.
No.
She is not doing it. For the first time. Look. Oh my gosh. Keeping our four-legged fur. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
A day in the life of Daisy. We're probably not going to do that, but.
No, whole day.
But
it's a lot of sleeping.
This is it. See, this is really it.
She can't get it. Well, I'm not wearing pants. I am, but my
shorts. He's wearing shorts.
I don't match.
He doesn't like his wardrobe, I guess. When Chad turns around and we get positioned in front of the monitor to watch this video and preview it, she must come up and sit on my lap and preview it with us. So it's pretty funny. She's already starting. She's already doing it. Not yet. You want to watch?
I want to preview.
Okay.
She has to be right here, and she doesn't even watch. Okay.
Keeping our furry, four-legged family member here safe is keeping our furry, four-legged family member, that's freaking hard to say.
So we hope you enjoyed this. We hope these tips were helpful for you guys with
Heifer.
Shut up.
You were hoping I wouldn't hear that? Heifer.
Heifer. Our FAQ on our website. We upped that
Dang.
dish one.
It's all about this puppy dog.
You want to take her?
I want her.
You're gonna get tired of holding her and make me hold her anyway.
Well, we're gonna switch off and on. That's right.